It's game day, baby. It's time for a game day preview of the New York Jets, the New York Giants, the dress rehearsal before the season. We get you ready for the Snoopy Bowl. Let's go.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We're going to have a full New York Jets, New York Giants preview show for you right friggin' now. Plus, tonight, as soon as the final whistle hits, we are going live for a post-game recap and analysis show. You'll remember in years past, we've always done a post-game show here. However, we've had to wait a significant period of time before we start the show. That changes this year. Post-game shows happen as soon as the final whistle blows, and we're going to jump on here. I hope you guys appreciate it. Make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe if you're watching on the YouTube. Our special guest for both of those shows today, he's working OT. It is Hop on Pop, gracing us with his presence. What's up, Pop?
Hey now, good morning, Breakfast Club.
Okay, it's good to see you, Papa. I don't know if you can adjust this. Your head to ceiling ratio seems a little off. So there we go. And we get the full Hop on Pop picture and some great support the troops merch. Very nice there, Pop. Exciting. It's game day for those who don't know, and you got to adjust accordingly. It's 7:00 tonight, not 8:00 like it was last week. Kickoff is set for 7:00. It will be on the NFL Network. Undefeated Jets, undefeated Giants. Giants are 3.5-point favorite tonight for those who dabble in betting on preseason games. And we are unaware if either of the starters are going to play. But from Giants reporters, starters are expected to play. And from Jets reporters, starters are expected to play. How long? I guess we're all going to find that out together, baby. And thank you, BB Jets22, saying great. Last week's post-game show and pre-game show were awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words. Before we get started here, Pop, Mother effing Chew gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. You love to see it. MFC, you're up to 12 raffle tickets. I'll reflect that on the scrolling ticker here in just a little bit. That membership went to 395 Brooklyn. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. We appreciate that. So thank you kindly, MFC, for always jumping and getting involved on the gifting. I'll throw this up real quick. We got a member super chat shout out here from K-Brock.
Wow.
He's been a member for 11 months, and that's nice. Game day, baby. Jetta, by the way, I'm 0-2 in Madden. So that is true. Last night at 1 or 2 in the morning, I was playing K-Brock, which was 4 or 5 hours ago. I was playing K-Brock and some Madden, and I'm a competitive bastard, so I couldn't go to sleep until I won. And then he's like, I'm going to bed. And then I just beat up some other random person and made me feel a little bit better about myself. But yes, I started out 0-2 against K-Brock in the latest new Madden video game, which I'm quite disappointed with. I had a 17-point lead in the second game, and I was sort of coasting at the end. Woo! Not a care in the world. And I probably should have been focusing a little bit more. And I caught another L pop.
Moron.
Yeah, that was I was up 17, and I was gonna say, hey, do you want to? I was already like ready to talk the smack of, hey, do you want to play a rubber match? You won one, I won one, and I got too aggressive, and it came back to bite me in the tuchus. But no one cares about my maddening happening. Instead, we care about some Jets-Giants action here, Pop, and a special announcement. Do you want to make the announcement now, a little bit later? When would you like to do it there, Pop?
Well, let's roll.
Okay, so without further ado, folks, before we get into our full Jets-Giants preview, which we will do here on the show and take your phone calls and talk about players you should highlight and how long certain players are going to play. Here is the announcement. I'm throwing this up on our screen. This is something my father has talked about. And for our audio only listeners, I will try to describe it in intricate detail here. My father is hosting a Wounded Warrior Project 50/50 raffle right here on Boy Green Daily. And here's how it works. It is a 50/50 raffle. You have until midnight, starting from right now all the way through midnight on October 4th to submit money in. And you're going to submit money. Raffle tickets are $1 a piece. So if you want a chance at the money, all you have to do is spend at least $1. Now, you can spend much more than that, and we hope you do because this is going to charity, and I'll explain that in a second. The winner of this 50/50 Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project raffle will be drawn at our Jets Cowboys tailgate on Sunday, October 5th. We'll do it in the parking lot. Here's how it works. 50% of all the money that we receive goes to the Wounded Warrior Project, which is an amazing cause. I'll let my father talk about that in a second. The other 50% of the money raised goes to the winner. So whoever wins out there in the universe, you get 50% of the money that was raised from everybody over basically the next month and a half that happens. And there's this, and I'm glad that my father included this, the top donator. So if you donate the most money, because as you know from a lot of our contests, if you donate the most money, sometimes you don't always win. But you will win in this case if you're the top donator during this period of time for this Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project, 50/50 raffle. You will win a prize package of some surprise gifts, and I think you guys are going to really want that. And here's how it works. It is not my Venmo or PayPal. Instead, it's going to be my Hop on Pops, and he will run this entire operation here. So his Venmo is, as you see it on the screen, at Paul, Paul hyphen Esden. So it is Paul hyphen ESDEN. That's his handle on Venmo. Or on PayPal, it's at Hop on Pop 22. That's all together, Hop on Pop 22. So, and his logo, you always want to confirm you're sending it to the right person, is that logo on the top right of your screen. It's a Hop on Pop basically silhouette here of his glasses and beard and hair. And that is the logo both on Venmo and PayPal. So that is the 50/50 raffle. It's going on right now, and it's a cool way to raise money for an amazing cause. So, Pop, please.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the Wounded Warrior Project really helps take care of our soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen that got wounded in the line of service and the active service for the country. It's provide services and facilities and assistance to them. It's a way we can give back. And so don't hesitate to reach into the pocket. We left the raffle tickets at $1. I think everyone can afford $1. And there's an opportunity for you to win some money and a prize package for the largest contributor. So yes. And so, yes, Imamji, family can buy lottery tickets, and then we'll just give the money fully to the Wounded Warriors.
Which, again, that's also your right to do. Again, don't feel pressure. If you win, you obviously win your pile of money. My father will be giving weekly updates. Obviously, he's here every Saturday, but and sometimes more days than that. We'll see what that could mean, possibly, for future weekends coming up on the show. But each week, he will give an update of the top 5. Hey, here's this person, this person, this person, this person. This is how many they have. But again, every singular dollar you send gives you a raffle ticket to win the entire thing. So again, this money will be exclusively collected via PayPal. All your normal guys, YouTube contributions of memberships and super chats and things, that will go towards my normal raffle. So I just wanted to separate it to make it as clear as possible and explain it for everybody. So, MFC just gifted a membership earlier today. That goes towards our normal Boy Green raffle. If you want to contribute to this Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project 50/50 raffle, you must send it to his Venmo or PayPal specifically. And please make sure you do this. Clearly say who you are. Again, it could be if you're Boy Green, you just say Boy Green. Or if you're Badshaw, you just say Badshaw. Or just give your first and last name. Say this is for the Wounded Warrior Project raffle and just make that very clear. because that'll help my father organize everything and keep track. So, because some people have Swag Daddy 44 as their handle, and my father's not going to know who the hell that is. So, please make sure you give your first and last name and that it is for this raffle.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's going to be great for a great cause, and we gotta, I gotta do a shout out to Indy yesterday, looking at getting some amazing cornhole boards with. So we got to figure that into it. We'll talk to Indy offline on that.
Yeah,
so
right.
I just want to recognize that his getting that, acquiring that, and donating that for the Wounded Warriors. That's amazing. So thank you, Indy.
Yes, I will connect Pop and Indy certainly after the show so they can connect in their own way. So that's a wonderful cause, and please, people, I hope you take full advantage of that and can reach in your pockets for a cause that's very close to both me and my father's hearts. With that being said, let's get into this Jets-Giants game day coverage here, Pop. I guess I'll start off here since you haven't had a chance to answer this question, and we've asked this of all our guests throughout the week. AG has not announced whether or not he's playing his starters. Rich Cimini predicted, based on everything he's sort of reading the tea leaves, he believes the Jets will be playing their starters tonight. Should they or shouldn't they?
Yeah, I would play them for one of two scenarios. So in my head, I would explain this to them. We're going to go out there. We're going to take the opening drive. We're going to go down and score. And then you're going to rest until the first week of the season. Or, right, we don't score on the fourth drive, and you're going to play the first quarter. So
that's good.
They get the ball. They march down the field. They score, right, which they should be able to do. Gives you a great opportunity, and then they sit the rest of the time. I think it's a mistake not to play them in some form or fashion, whatever they feel is best. If they come in and do a 3 and outs, yeah, they got to come back in. It's not just going to be, one series, because what if the series is, the Robert Saleh special, run middle 1 yard, run middle 2 yards, run middle 3 yards, punt.
Yeah. That's fair, and I agree with that, basically. I mean, if they played a quarter, I wouldn't be mad at it, regardless of what, like if they scored 2 or 3 times somehow, whatever the math would be of drives exchanging back and forth. If they had a couple of drives, I'd be okay with it, because the Ed Valentine, our New York Giants insider, who joined us on the MC Show digital show earlier this week, I didn't realize this till he said the stat, but if the Jets and Giants starters play tonight, here on this preseason game, the next time that they play will be in 22 days. And I went, wow, okay. So he just talked about the rust factor and the gap of time that exists. And he says, if they don't play, because, right, we at the time we didn't know, we still don't know, they don't play. Obviously, add that another week that they basically wouldn't have played for a month. So that's a lot of time to just be sitting around. And everyone wants the Jets, not just at the beginning of the season, but in general. They were a slow starting team under Saleh that you brought up. Slow first quarters, slow starts, and things of that nature. So that is, that's something that I think a lot of people want to fix, and perhaps playing more often can create some of that.
Absolutely. Hey,
come on,
just yeah.
Just
I won't do this for the whole show, but the donations have already started to pour in.
That's awesome.
So, and thank you for that. And we'll keep a running spreadsheet, announce the top 5 and probably the total every week. So we've already got some money rolling in. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I was saying it last night with apparently my brand new co-host, Bubba Badshaw, that we did our draft order reveal for the Quad Cities League. Me and Badshaw did a live show last night for like 20 minutes. And, we just talked, I can't remember if this was on air or off air, but we just talked about how cool the community is, that we rally around things. We support each other. We support causes. We're there for each other for good, bad, or indifferent. It's just really cool. So a big shout out to the New York Jets community, the Boy Green Coffee Club community, and all of you guys for always being so generous and gifting with a variety of things and supporting others when we're down. That's some pretty cool stuff there. So I very much appreciate it. Now, whether or not the starters play apparently is up for debate, but there are certain starters that just aren't going to play based on like injury status and things of that nature, Pop. And one of those players appears likely to be Sauce Gardner, who had some calf soreness, and I'm sure the Jets are like, oh, we're not going to be playing with that. Same thing, Quinn had that at the beginning of training camp. So it looks like, according to Jets senior reporter Eric Allen, my boy Quantez Stiggers is in line to start opposite of Brandon Stevens and Michael Carter II. I don't know how big of a Quantez Stiggers guy you are, but this is a really great opportunity. In the preseason game last week, it wasn't the coverage that caught my attention. He was a special teams gunner, making a lot of plays on special teams, which continues to secure his roster spot in my mind.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and again, who the Giants playing, who's Stiggers going against. He's my favorite former Canadian football player on the New York Jets.
Wow. Okay. I don't know how many others are on that list, but it's good to know that my boy Quantez Stiggers made it. I think I said this last week, I think the Jets corner room is the deepest positional group they have on this entire roster. If I'm another team, and I hope not, but if I'm another team, I am 100% circling the wagons and just waiting right outside One Jets Drive for roster cut day and saying who's shaking free. I hope Quantez Stiggers is not one of those players. Last year was the summer of Jarek Bernard Converse. This summer certainly hasn't been. There's been a variety of issues there, so he's a guy that could certainly shake free. But if you think about, go through that list of Sauce Gardner, Brandon Stevens, Michael Carter II, Quantez Stiggers, Azarie Thomas, and you start going deeper and deeper on this group, you're like, oh my, Isaiah Oliver's on that list. Like they've got a ton of corners, Pop, which makes you feel pretty good about the depth. So, it always sucks to potentially not have Sauce out there, and that would be my expectation with the sore calf. But you look on the list of the guys, and by the way, give a shout out to Ryan Bump Cooper, who they added on the waivers. He was making a lot of plays last week too, so a big salute to him as well. The Jets cornerback room, that pulls pretty deep, it appears.
Yeah, I would tell you, just back to Stiggers momentarily, right?
Yeah.
So you know what team he played for in the Canadian Football League?
The Toronto Argonauts, yes.
That's right. Yeah. Do you know what an Argonaut is?
I think when I was a kid, you allowed me to watch the movie, what's that, Toy Soldiers or Little Soldiers? And, you got the Galacticos and the Argonauts. Yeah.
Moron.
Wow.
No. All right. An Argonaut was part of Greek mythology. They sailed with Jason in the pursuit of the Golden Fleece. And the Golden Fleece
was my second answer. Yeah,
is on the 53-man roster, which he will achieve that today with his performance.
Wow. That's very mythical. I like how you did that. Again, that would have been my second guess for sure.
No, it definitely wouldn't.
That would have been my second guess. There's no question about it. Hey, look, it's our boy. He's back. It's Arthur Sochka, a.k.a. A-Step 10. He's back here and sending in a super chat. We love to see it. Yes.
Wow.
What's up, BG and Pops? How's everyone been? Arthur, you are $1 away from another raffle ticket here for our contest. Again, we're back to normal here with our $3 raffle ticket. So everybody, feel free to go to town here on the show today. We appreciate it. And thank you very much. I'm great. It's a game day. It's the dress rehearsal before the season because Randy Lang, Jets senior contributor, said this on the website. Not that I needed someone else to say this. It is extremely unlikely that any Jet starter plays next week in that Eagles game. That's typically reserved for the reserves. So this is normally the dress rehearsal before the season. So I think whatever the starters play tonight is the last time we're seeing the starters until the regular season. So this game is of the utmost importance because we want to see some more kinks worked out. One of the big ones for me, Pop, and I'll just go to this, last week, 10 penalties, 91 yards, super sloppy, all over the place. We had pre-snap penalties, in-game, play penalties, and then post-snap penalties of stupid stuff. Like, the Jets need to clean all that up. Aaron Glenn has said the right things. Visually, he's appeared to do the right things when players have messed up. There's pictures of him yelling at players on the sideline during preseason games, training camp, and all that. So all that seems to be right. However, the penalty number is still atrocious. So we need to see some result-oriented business of the right things he's doing translating to the football field. So I don't want to overrate one game. because if they had no penalties, you're like, oh wow, the penalty problems are fixed. So like I don't want to go crazy either way, but that's something I certainly want cleaned up tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Tonight's also important.
Right.
I have a couple different locations.
Locations.
So in the Great White Mountains,
Okay.
I have a 3 TV setup for football games.
Nice. All right.
Back in the day in Mississippi, I had a 4 TV setup in the
Good
man
times.
cave.
Yeah.
And so I've got to do a little tweaking. I won't spend a lot of football weekends here in Atlanta. I think it's only going to be maybe 2,
All right.
hopefully this year. But I've
Okay.
got 2 TV set up, but it's not ideal. So I've got to toy with it, see what I can do to kind of because I don't want to have to crane my neck. I want them like side by side. So I've got to work on that.
Well, for instance, I'm only doing this because of the people. I am looking straight ahead of me, and there's this projector sheet on the wall because people want me to do the play-by-play for the game again, and so I will be doing it for Jets Steelers. So I will be having the projector up here projecting the game and watching it that way. And so I'll have to watch the other games after I finish all my Jets work, I guess. So Sunday Night Football and stuff. I'll have to watch that in the man cave over there with the TV. So I'm really enjoying it. But that'll be nice. So the projector screen, that could be an option, but that sometimes delays some of the action, obviously,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And so you lose a little bit of that. Yeah.
You lose a little bit. What's the there's a lot of prop bets that run around.
All right.
What's the prop bet that the geriatric quarterback for the Steelers breaks his hip during that game?
I would
Is there
imagine
a
the
prop
odds
bet for
are
that?
higher than normal. I would imagine, or above average for old
Maybe-
Aaron Rodgers already had an injury issue at Steelers camp.
Maybe before the game they could do a race, like a race between a sundial and Aaron Rodgers, and see which wins.
Well,
Anyways.
it is. I will just say that it is refreshing to see a quarterback. I was enjoying it on Madden not enjoying it because I went 0-2 against K-Brock, but the mobility of one Justin Fields is very unique, both in a video game and in real life. And that's something I really enjoyed. The touchdown drive last week, Justin Fields on 3rd down. He's looking around, going through his progressions. He's like, "Up, see ya," and he gets past some just simple arm tackles, slaps some people around, and then it ends up getting into the end zone. So that is an exciting part of the offense, and I think is going to open up a lot of things from that perspective. And let's go to the running game here, Pop. Last week, there have been some harsh criticisms of Breece Hall. I think and I've gone back and forth on the Breece Hall thing. I think 3 carries for 9 yards in the preseason game is a little too small of a sample size to get too crazy about. But a few people did get a little crazy saying they didn't see it for Breece and analyzing his vision on social media. I would just say I'm not going to overreact to a couple of carries here, but I think I think the running game is going to be one of those things that are featured tonight. And there's a lot of names to watch with obviously Donovan Edwards, the undrafted free agent out of Michigan, should get a lot of run. He had a 70-yard touchdown last week that unfortunately got taken off the board. Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, Kene Nguanu's been getting a lot of run at the joint practice I was at. They're running him a lot with the ball, so maybe he's going to get some more opportunities. The running game is expected to be featured this evening.
Yeah, so let's talk about Breece Hall just for a moment.
Oh boy, here we go.
Just for a moment.
Yeah, sure. Right.
I will not discount the fact that the Jets, and I don't have it in front of me, I think they were in the bottom 3 in the NFL last year in rushing attempts. I'm pretty sure.
I believe they were last in rushing attempts.
So they were bottom 3 last would fall in there. And the top 3 in passing attempts. And I'm talking about percentages of play calling.
Sure.
With that being said, so Breece didn't have a lot of opportunities. However, when he did have opportunities, we saw it live, right? When he had opportunities, I think there is something there. If there is not, I was going to say a bad joke, I'll pull it in. So if there is not a clear aperture for him to go through, I think he does hesitate. And then he can't restart until he's out in the open field. He's opened the field, God bless him. He's up there in the NFL as an open field runner. No question about it. But I don't know if it's vision. I don't know if it's a hesitation. But and when he stops, he's dead, and he gets whacked, and then he folds like a lawn chair. So I think, and I said it last year before the season, I think he is ideal as a third down back, as clearly a good pass option, dump off option, or wheel route option. You were talking about it last week, where you take the four wide shotgun set, and you stretch the field, you throw it over to him in the middle. But right, he is not what the Jets and what I believe Aaron Glenn wants in a running back. Right, this offense will be more, and we can't say what it looks like because we haven't seen it. So I'll do a corollary. Right, this is the Harbaugh. What he is building in San Diego is what I believe that Aaron Glenn wants to build with the Jets. And although Brees is a part of that, he's not the mainliner, right? The Agent Zero and how he hits the hole is completely different than Brees Hall. And I think that's more suits what Aaron Glenn is going to want to do, and to pound the ball. And then you bring Brees in as an option. And if Brees, so I put Brees number 2 on the depth chart. If Brees doesn't like it, well, he's got value, right? And we can shop around, right? So that's what I think about that.
I would say this. You mentioned one of my observations of Jets-Giants joint practice when I was there. They are using Brees Hall as a receiver a lot. And when you're in the stands as a fan, I'm allowed to share the a lot of the observations I have, schematically wise. You're not allowed to do that if you're a media member, but technically I was in the stands, so I guess I'm allowed to say some of these things. They ran empty sets with Justin Fields where you had 5 wide receivers out, but they weren't 5 wide receivers. There's 4 wide receivers in Brees Hall, and he was all the way lined up to the left. And you had the other 4 receivers just run verts, which drew coverage away. Safeties backed up, corners backed up. And Brees Hall took 3 steps and whoop, he cut right towards the middle of the field. He ran his version of a slant route and just ran underneath. And as he was trailing, Field saw him and plopped it in front of him, gave him some running room, and he went off for a massive gain. And this is not the first time I've seen that sort of thing. I've been to Jets training camp practices before where they've tried to utilize Brees in that way, but then we just never saw it consistently in the games. And that, I think, is a great opportunity. I think he is a very adept receiver out of the backfield. He has proven that. This coaching staff is fully aware of it, which is an important piece of the puzzle. That certainly helps as well. So that all is wonderful and really great. So I think Brees Hall has a lot to bring to the table from that perspective, and that part of it really excites me for what we could be seeing here very shortly down the line. I want to highlight a couple of things here. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I'm not discounting his value he brings to the team, but right, you don't use a wrench as a screwdriver. You use it for what it's meant to be, and your best friend now, the 7-foot tall offensive coordinator for the
Tanner
Jets.
Engstrand, baby. Sure. Yeah.
Are you really that short? Anyways, if he uses him for what he's designed to, go to his skill sets, I think the Jets would be very successful.
Yeah, that would be great. There we are, both together, me and the Jolly Green Giant. So it's great to see.
God, is he 7'3"?
I'm not sure. He's quite tall. And again, look, I'm sort of backed up, so that's obviously affecting the image, right? We're not both standing right next to each other. He sort of has a few steps in front of me. If we sort of zoom in on that, I just want to make that clear, obviously. And I'm sort of slouching or something, maybe.
No, you definitely aren't.
Okay, well, either way, thank you, Tanner Engstrand. It was nice to meet you, pal, as well. I do want to highlight a few things. We have a super chat coming in. I'll get that in just a moment. Phil, he's a new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, just joined this week. So, Phil, I appreciate that. He said, BG, I think it's great that you get to do this podcast with your father. My dad passed away. He was a paratrooper in World War II. Miss him. Well, Phil, I think about and send my love to you, and I can't even imagine that loss. And it is amazing. Again, when my father first joined this show, it was a one-off, and then it turned into like a regular bit, and there was a lot of people complaining. And there's some that still do complain and about what my father brings to the table, some of his opinions, some of the things he yells that goes on the sides of coffee cups in our merch shop. There's a lot of things to unpack there, which, by the way, we're working on hopefully a new update soon to come on a brand new merch store and new merch items. I'm really excited about what we're working on behind the scenes, and it will replace the merch shop that some of you guys have had issues with. So hopefully new details to come very soon here, hopefully before the season, as we're working all that out. But no, I would just say that it's been really cool. I totally get how humbling or much of an honor it is. I don't take it for granted, is what I mean. Because there are people out there that work like construction or a paint job or a cubicle job. They obviously do not get to work with their dads in that line of work. So I do not take it for granted at all that I get a chance to do a show with my dad and do it every week and do it sometimes multiple times a week. Again, today he's doing our pregame show right now. And shout out to the 226 people that are in the room. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, hit subscribe, baby. It's game day, for goodness sake. Let's get it rocking and rolling here, for God's sakes. Get your memberships, your super chats. If you want players, if you want us to talk about certain players, and I've got other players on my list and storylines and situations, I'm going to be highlighting those on the show. But if you guys want us to talk about a certain player, super chat it in. I'll be like, okay, here we go. Here's insert player. All right, let's talk about the storylines with this player. If you want to do that, feel free to do that. If you're watching on YouTube, it's a little money sign. Click that, and you guys can send that in. But Phil, thank you so much for being vulnerable enough to share that story. And I'm sure your dad is watching down and is very proud of everything you're doing, pal. So thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate it. And look at this, Philium with a super chat.
Wow.
To the future Boy Green Meets Badshaw show. Sorry, Woody, you might be getting replaced here. Oh, boy. 3 raffle tickets for Philium, baby. Yeah, that was a fun show last night. So we might do it again with Badshaw because he's in another one of our Boy Green Coffee Club leagues through the Discord. So we may be doing another draft order reveal here in the near future. And, Pop, you're the reason why I've gotten into fantasy football all those years ago, watching you do all those fantasy drafts.
Yep. It's all in the family, so to speak. As long as Badshaw doesn't do the show from his toilet without a shirt on in the darkness.
Yeah. You guys don't want to hear some of the stories he told me off air. I will leave those untold. Those were some very disturbing stories, but I did get to virtually meet his wife again, and she seems like a really nice lady. So, Badshaw, there you go. Congratulations, pal. Appreciate you. Let's keep going. And Philium, thank you so much. You got 3 raffle tickets for our contest. I'll update the scrolling ticker here in due time. Thank you so much for sending that along. Here's another one, Pop. So last week, John Simpson was injured. That's our starting left guard. He had a back issue, so he didn't play in the game. So the Jets, they decided to put Joe Tippmann at left guard and start Josh Myers at center. Interesting. Was that a indication of something? What was that? We don't know. And some film people out there, Jets X Factor, thought Josh Myers performed very poorly and that it was an opportunity to separate himself in the center competition, but they don't believe, based on the tape study, that he did. So now John Simpson's healthy, Pop. He returned to practice. Who is starting at center tonight in the game? Is it Josh Myers for the second straight week? Is it Joe Tippmann? What say you when this game kicks off tonight at 7 o'clock? Who is the starting center for the New York Jets now that John Simpson has returned healthy?
Yeah, I think it's I missed the gentleman from Green Bay. Is it Josh Myers? Did I get that right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's Josh Myers, and not for the reason you think.
Oh,
right. I think it's Josh Myers to give him more work, to demonstrate better, to give the Jets a better sense of what they have if they need to go to the bullpen. Tippmann is the center, will be the center, barring injury, which hopefully does not happen. Yeah. But I would definitely take the opportunity, right? The difference is, how many offensive linemen do they have in the 90 some odd that are in the bullpen, but if I was going to play people, it would be Josh. It really just to give him, shore up what our understanding of him is and our faith and confidence in him.
Yeah,
But
and
Pittman will 100% be the starter.
okay, let me see. I saw this comment here. I think it was from our boy, Fox Sports Talk, who says save Simpson for the season. He's talking about John Simpson. Just don't play him in this game, essentially, and just ride it out. That's possible that the Jets could decide to do that. Again, this was the Jet Cetera column that they put on NewYorkJets.com talking about this game. John Simpson returned to practice this week. It'll be interesting to see whom the Jets start at the pivot. So we'll see again what that's going to mean. Maybe they just ride it out again. To your point, Simpson, hey buddy, backs are tricky. We don't need you. We know you're awesome. You're great. Let's do Titman Myers again in some form or fashion or combination. Now, I'm curious on this, Pop, as a former football player yourself. So Joe Titman obviously started. He was supposed to be the center. That's what he was drafted as for the Jets. But in his rookie year, Connor McGovern was here. So when he got an opportunity to start, it was actually a guard. And so he played at both guard spots. I believe he ended up playing on both because of AVT bouncing around too. And then he went back to center. He's been the center for a while. But Tippmann said coming off this game that he just played, he says it's easier to play guard because you're not focusing on some of those things. And he says, and having the knowledge of playing center, I know where people are supposed to be lining up and all these different intricacies. I don't want to try to oversimplify it for the center position, but he says having that knowledge and then being a guard, he says, actually is sort of freeing. He says, I really enjoy playing center, and I'll play wherever they tell me to play. But he said that was sort of unique, and it sounds like he really likes playing guard.
Yeah, I mean, the people that just arbitrarily turn into football and they watch football and don't really get too deep into it, don't really recognize that the center is the second most important position on the offense. And I mean, for ensuring how every play goes, if you will. And, the coordination of the
I think your laundry is done.
the coordination of the offensive line, the blocking schemes, things of that nature. The center is crucial, and it is valuable to have the guard have that kind of insider knowledge. But there's a lot of the center again is the heart of that offensive line, and so I definitely think that we keep Titman at center. He had a phenomenal year last year, and this whole talk of Josh Myers pushing him out of his spot doesn't make a lot of sense.
All right, let me ask you this because I saw this from my boy Dom C, who did a lot of our draft coverage earlier this year. He threw this out there. This is a futures question. We mostly are going to pertain to game day coverage here today, but he threw this out, and this is all in the same topic matter. So the Jets have both of their starting guards set to be free agents next year. That is John Simpson on the left, AVT on the right, Elijah Vera Tucker. And Dom C says you re-sign one of them, and then the other one is Joe Titman kicking out to guard and being your long-term guard, and you either bring Josh Myers back at center or figure it out in a different way, and that's how you have it locked in continuity-wise. Would you be for or against that?
Yeah, I mean, because you got to make business decisions. That's exactly what this is. And we talked about this before. And I think, there's not a lot of in-season signings, but one of those guards would definitely be who I do. And if you're going to go with, the concept of drafting and keep retaining talent, then I would keep AVT and then absolutely keep open the opportunity. You put your best combination of players on the field. And if that's sliding Titman over to guard next year because we let the other guy go, then I think that would be the right thing to do. But salary cap, you can't pay them both at the current value that they will both get on the market.
I just wanted to go back to this just because we talked about running backs. Isaiah Davis had an ankle injury. He didn't practice at all this week, so that certainly sets up for him, obviously, not to play. He had the sneaky play, the sneaky smart play with the Justin Fields touchdown run. He pretended like the ball was coming, and he kept doing this, and the Packers defender was like, oh, gotta block him, and Justin Fields moonwalks into the end zone on the right side, and Isaiah Davis has gotten a lot of love this week from the fans for what a heady play in the moment to think about that. Because, like, at first, when AG was asked about that after the game, he sort of played it off like, yeah, we practice that all the time. And then he went, okay, we don't practice that at all. But what a smart, heady play for the young man. So, like, he sort of just, like, tried to downplay it a little bit. But then he just went, like, yeah, that was pretty cool. So, man, Isaiah Davis, that's the next level stuff there that's happening.
Yeah, and that's That's the Jackrabbit. That's I'll tell you that there's intelligent football players, and you don't see it a lot. And when you do, it really stands out. So there's an example. The example of the running back who, instead of scoring the touchdown, slides down at the 2 yard line so his team could knee it out, as opposed to giving the ball back at the end of the game. Uh, the wide receiver that does whatever it takes so there's not an interception. You see that almost more frequently than not, where there's a clear opportunity and it's clear that the defender is going to intercept the ball. You do what you do. You use that face mask as a handle and you rip that guy to the ground, whatever it takes. That's the
Yeah.
kind of football intelligence. That's, football is a game of inches. And doing things like that with Isaiah Davis, he doesn't do that. Justin Fields probably doesn't score the touchdown. So those kind of plays that you see, the game within the game, that's what we need all the players to do, get those inches back. And that's a difference between a 5-12 football team and a 9-8 football team.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys love when I quote Bill Belichick on this show, but when I go to the laundromat, I have Bill Belichick's latest book about like his philosophies and all these different things. And so I just like reading football books. And I was at the laundromat and he talked about what he taught his DBs. And he taught them, he says, if two things here, if you got beat for a touchdown, choke slam the wide receiver. If like, or the other way, right? It's about to be an interception unless you do something like the wide receiver the other way. So it's corner to the wide receiver, choke slam him, do whatever, tackle him. I don't give a flying hoot. Don't get the touchdown, 15 yards, or in this case, it would have been spot foul. He says, I don't care. That's better than a touchdown. And then the reverse side, when he's going it the other way, and you notice that it's going to be a pick, you can't get there for the catch. You body slam that guy, you eat the 15 yards, and you go line back up. So, I don't love giving Bill Belichick all kinds of love on a Jet show, but I was reading that in the book and then how he taught it and how he talked to his players. And I was like, oh, well, that's the way to do it. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And you don't see that happen as much as you should.
Right. Which is sort of crazy. So I guess that's another reason, again, to highlight it here. And yes, as Scotty Mayhem says, Donovan Edwards, you want a spot, come get it. Yeah, with Isaiah Davis out, Donovan Edwards is third in line. And depending on how long the starters play, the Brees out, then it's a Braylon Donovan Edwards show, basically for the rest of the game outside of whatever Kane Guano brings in. So, again, injuries bring up other opportunities for other players. I want to go to this, and this is a story I wrote last night, and it's about two Jet receivers that apparently their jobs are on the line tonight. I'm curious if you believe this is an overreaction or not. So Xavier Gibson is expected to make his preseason debut. He missed the preseason opener last week because of a shoulder issue. He's expected to play today. And then Malachi Corley, an NFL media personality, Eric Edholm, who does a bunch of stuff with the draft and everything else. He highlighted all these storylines for the preseason games this weekend, and he put two players on notice. It is Xavier Gibson and Malachi Corley. And I will read his little quick blurb here that he had on the receivers. And
yeah, before you do that,
yeah, okay.
That's actually one of the things I'll be bringing up later. So, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Then actually, I will just park it, and I will just save that conversation. Well, actually, let's do it right now. Go ahead, please. Reveal your things you want to talk about with the game.
Yeah. So, to me, this is the most important activity, the most important interaction, the most important game week, not just the Jets-Giants game, but this week, because I'm the Jets coaching staff, and I've got 30 screens going on because I want to watch every game. I want to understand who's going to be available come 10 days from today on cut day, when in excess of 1,200 players hit the streets. There's going to be nuggets in there. There's going to be players to watch in there. And so we need to have these essentially like a draft board war room. These are the players that if they drop, we're going to jump all over. And so that aspect of watching the film of all these games that are happening today and tomorrow is key. The two players that essentially show up or show out, right? This is their chance, right? Because you know how much it cost the Jets if they cut Malachi Corley?
I'm unaware of that nugget.
$1 million, right? 1 million. Now, obviously, you and I wouldn't sneeze at $1 million,
No, not at all.
but the roster spot comes down to this. He needs to show up and show out. This is his game. This is his audition. This is him making the team. That wide receiver room, although outside of number one, is not heralded or prime time. It's crowded, and we need some separation, right? And the separation is his opportunity this week. Is his opportunity to show up and demonstrate what he brings to the table, show why he was the YAC champion. And I think he's capable of doing it, and hopefully he gets the opportunity. It won't be against likely the number one defense of the New York Giants, but this is his opportunity to really demonstrate what he can bring to the table. Fair or unfair, life's not fair. He did not get a fair shake last year, a good opportunity. But he's got to show something or he's not going to make the team. That's my thought on Malachi Corley.
And then just a quick nugget here on the kicking game. Nick Folk has been added to this squad. He's very much expected to be the lone kicker on this roster. He had a live leg Wednesday. He was 5 for 5 on his field goal attempts in the joint practice against the Giants, including a 55-yarder with apparently room to spare. So Nick Folk is looking spectacular. But interestingly enough, last week, right, Nick Folk was still on the team. They let Harrison Mevis, the youngster, hey, you do the kickoffs. Hey, you do the field goals. You get that work, because I would assume that the foregone conclusion is that he's going to win the job, and this is giving Harrison Mevis a nice little audition for the rest of the National Football League.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to dollars and cents, right? You have so much money to restore your 57 jalopy, and what are you going to spend it on? And so Nick Folk is more expensive than Joe Scrub, right? And but is it worth it, knowing that Nick Folk is not going to miss a field goal 40 yards and in, and at his current decrepit age, that he can make a 55-yarder with margin, right? And so is that worth it? You know, Nick Folk, I don't know how much he's making. He's not breaking the bank, but it's significantly more than they would pay, you know, anybody else. And so is that, you know, 2 or 3 field goals more a year, which could mean 1 or 2 games, worth the money? And it's all this. It's much more complicated than we make it out to be. You know, what could we do with the money? Do we pay him, or do we need that margin? I think the Jets' margin of this year is going to be smaller than normal for every week. Margin of victory, every point is going to matter more. And so I pay Nick Folk the extra money, and because we're going to need every extra point we can get.
All right, let's play a quick game of fact or fiction. I'm going to put something on the screen, and you make that determination. FL Phil 98 says, any wide receiver that doesn't make this Jets roster sucks.
That's a fact.
Okay, well, there we go. William, God bless. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. All right, Pop, let's get empty out the rest of your Jets-Giants notebook here on anything you want to get to before we get to the phone calls. I would just say off the top, one of the things I'm looking forward to, regardless of how long they stay out there, this Giants defensive line may be the best in football. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence. It's insane. When I watched it at Jets-Giants joint practice, I just kept telling myself, like, good Lord. Like, this is an unbelievable group that they've assembled, an Avengers superstar team of all these really talented guys. And I want to see this Jets offensive line go. Do you want to go to war, Balake? I do. I want to see this offensive line versus that defensive line and see how they hold up, because in my observations, it was a little back and forth, and the Giants certainly won a lot of those battles. So I'm curious to see, with the lights on and it's preseason time, how they respond. But what else is in your notebook for this game?
Yeah. The other one in a very similar situation to Malachi Corley is the other champion that resides on the Jets, right? This is, what time is it? It's Adrian Martinez time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? And so how he plays this game determines, to me, if the Jets sign a quarterback that drops on August 26th. If he plays this game, and obviously based on Cinderella's foot, but and I mean by that, I mean Brady Cook's foot.
Yeah, right. So just to clarify, just as we're talking about it, Brady Cook is expected to be available for this game. I use those words very carefully. Whether or not he plays or how long he plays because he had his ankle foot area stepped on at the practice I was at. It looked quite painful for Brady Cook. We'll see if he actually shoots up. But the Jets inform us that he is available to be called upon.
Yeah. So neither Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor are men of steel. They're more come in a crate with a bunch of straw as a significant award, if a major
Italian,
award,
I believe.
an Italian fragile. So Adrian Martinez's spot, which he has not earned yet, his spot is very important. And so him with the opportunity to play essentially the entirety of the game. If we see Brady Cook come out, it's because Adrian Martinez got hurt or something else. That's my opinion. So this is time for Adrian Martinez to show what he's got, right? It's going to be his show. And so if he does not show up well against what is not going to be the number one defense, maybe for a series it is, but then later in the game, then the Jets need to go and move. And there will be first round talent that is going to be available on August 26th that's going to be cut by an NFL team that the Jets should jump all over.
Okay. Do you want to inform us of that at a later point, or are you ready for that action now?
I will cover it right now. This person threw for more yards than the number one draft pick. This person beat the number one draft pick head to head. This person led his team with lesser talent to the same record and a 4-game winning streak to end the season, as opposed to the number one draft pick who led his team to a 2-game losing streak going into the end of the season. Sign Kyle McCord now. August 26th. The Eagles are dumb enough to cut him. The Jets should jump all over that. He has pro-level talent, and I cannot believe he fell as low as he did in the draft, and the Eagles don't recognize what he has. He will be available August 26th.
Yeah, Kyle McCord is the former Syracuse product who was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the 6th round. And, there have been some people that have been criticizing some of the analytics of because he came up, Tim Boyle, let him boil. He came up and was cut. And Kyle McCord apparently was the only player that was rated lower than him in the preseason in some of the categories. So Kyle McCord had some struggles apparently with Philadelphia, but you're saying look past whatever things that may be there because obviously the talent is there for one Kyle McCord. I like the cut of his jib, and he'd be a young guy to roll with, so it's very intriguing.
Yeah, and he could easily take Adrian Martinez's place as that up-and-coming quarterback. And, right, the Eagles let him throw the ball 5 times as compared to the other 3 quarterbacks that played that same day that threw for 15, 20 plus times. So the sample size, ridiculous. Even to discuss it in that manner is dumb. But so yes, Kyle McCord, he will be available. I would say we should grab him.
Yeah, let me just address this. So, like Sean Bennett says, Kyle McCord, why would the Eagles drop him? Drop him. They just drafted him. And here's why. Here's the Eagles quarterback rooms. They have Jalen Hurts. All right, he's not going anywhere. Tanner McKee, they're in love with. They traded for Dorian Thompson-Robinson this offseason. That was the Kenny Pickett trade. And then they have Kyle McCord. Most teams do not keep 4 quarterbacks. Some teams will. Cleveland, apparently, from all the Cleveland Browns people over there, plan on keeping all 4 of their quarterbacks, the 2 veterans, Kenny Pickett, who we just mentioned, Joe Flacco, and the 2 rookies. So it looks like if a quarterback's going to shake free, it's going to be Kyle McCord, who I would assume they would attempt to sneak onto the practice squad, and every other team in the National Football League, the other 31 teams, would have an ability to claim him off of waivers. The good news is that the Jets, because of their shitty pick in the draft, they have the 7th best waiver wire priority for the rest of this offseason, quote unquote. It does not reset until we get to the correct. Once we get to the regular season, it's reverse order of standings, and it just continues to keep rolling. But up until that point, which is the point that my father has highlighted and circled on his calendar behind him, that is when the Jets would have an opportunity at Kyle McCord. So the uneven status of Tyrod Taylor and the fact that he's uncertain to be ready for week 1, and then whatever we have here with Adrian Martinez and company, it could be Kyle McCord, the Syracuse guy, coming here to the NYJ. That'd be a cool coming home story as a guy who grew up a Jets fan, and he wore 6 at Syracuse for Mark Sanchez. The Sanchez. of honoring him. So Kyle McCord, good little nugget there, Pop. Good little nugget. Anything else you have before we get to the people?
Yep, just one last thing.
Okay, one thing. Yeah.
Arian Smith will lead the AFC in yards per reception this year. That's my stone cold lock.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you this. I met Arian Smith, a very nice young man, and he seemed like a good kid, good head on his shoulders. He's been apparently having a hell of a camp from everything that I hear. So there's a lot to like about Arian Smith, no question about it. But that's a bold there it is. There is us. That is myself and Arian Smith again.
You have the football upside down.
Yeah, I do. But actually, it was right side up for him because he signed it. That's Arian Smith's autograph right under the JETS. And then I turned around for the picture, and the ball came down as I was turning. So is it upside down? Perhaps not. But that's all right. But we do have Arian Smith here. And again, one of my favorite stories from Jets training camp is we're in a VIP area over here away from the fans. Flex on them. Thanks, Lou B, Super Jets fan. Get me in there. But we're away from the fans, and a lot of fans are sort of like chirping, like, Arian, we need to see some more 80-yard bomb touchdowns. Ooh, against Pittsburgh, you should do a stop and go and like first play of the game and like kill him. And Arian Smith stops in his tracks. He looks over at us, smiles, and winks and says, we don't do that in practice. And basically what he was indicating and implying was, hey, we're going to save that for the regular season. So don't worry. If you haven't seen it in these training camp practices, we're saving it. So, hey, which I would assume on those big plays would add to your, average yardage total there for the AFC. So I will just say this right off the top rope. I'm so happy for Arian because this is a guy that was much maligned for his drops, and rightfully so. Because he was the only Power 4 player last year that had double-digit drops. That's not good. That's not a good number. But he, from what John Gruden said, Arian Smith was his sleeper of the entire draft. And he said the reason why is he's fast and he's willing to work on the problems. When he had him in for his Gruden Grinders thing, I don't know what it's called now for wide receivers, but when he has some of these players in from college and interviews them and watches tape and stuff, he just said that this guy has an unbelievable work ethic, and from everything he's heard, any problems he has, he's willing to go after. He's a run blocker that loves to run block. So he said all the bees are there, called him his sleeper the entire draft, not just wide receivers, not just anything, his sleeper the entire draft before the draft, and he ends up on the Jets. So some of John Gruden's words have come true, that Arian Smith has been working on all these problems. And I didn't see him have a single drop when I was there, and the other beat reporters have said similar things about the other practices. So Arian Smith's a good kid. I just want to give a huge shout-out to him.
Do you know what his average yards per reception at Georgia was?
For his career, I'm uncertain. I remember some of the singular seasons, but I don't know what it ended up finishing off at.
19.9.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. This offense that I believe Aaron Glenn's going to install, the pound the rock, right, is going to leave 2 to 3 play option. Bombs away, baby. Hey now, bombs away, baby. So I'm telling you, that's my stone cold lock. And I'll just run, people say that I make predictions, and then I bring up the fact that I make predictions, and Pop's never wrong. I'm going to just run through, and then we'll go to the phone. I got
before you do,
5 predictions from last year. Go ahead.
Before you do, you delivered this already, but
Wow.
Jay Bogo 751, a member for 10 months on the channel. Thank you for supporting the show, Jay Bogo. Can we get a hey now? And we already did, but subconsciously, just sort of happens with you and your body. But for Jay Bogo,
hey now.
There you go. Had to get that in. Appreciate you for sending in your member super shout out here on the program. But yes, Pop, you were just talking about some people poke fun at your predictions. Go ahead, reset for us here.
Yep. So I was going to go over 5 predictions from last year. There was a lot more than that, but I'll go over 5, and I've came up with a balance to the 5.
All right.
A balance to the 5. Right. Number one. I predicted.
Oh, actually, let me do that for you. Let me get you. Let me give you the full, shish kebab here. You're doing this wonderful thing of us going us through, and we have the ability to play all kinds of different things. So let's go. We'll go. You're going 5-1, yes?
Sure, we'll go number 5.
Okay.
Number 5.
we'll start with the worst predictions first. I gave it a stone cold lock that Hassan Reddick would be the defensive player of the year and lead the NFL in sacks. What I didn't know was that he was fat, lazy, and intentionally screwed himself out of, I don't know, at least $50 million
Probably
for being a moron. They're moron. So I said it. Clearly, it was a mistake.
That was
so
tough.
There you go.
That was a tough one. That's
That
about as
was
bad
tough.
as you could get on that one, but okay. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's go to next.
Number 4.
Number 4, during and by the way, this will be coming up in 2 weeks, our season prediction. In 2 weeks, we'll do it over a course of a couple days. In 2 weeks, I predicted the Jets would go 12-5.
Oh, it was inverted. It was 5-12. Boy,
missed it by that much.
That's for sure, right? The Jets only once in their entire history have had 12 wins in a season. That was back in 1998, so that was a long time ago. It's only happened once. People thought it would happen more than once, but so far, not as great. Okay, those are. I'm just going to be blunt, Pop. Those are 2 awful predictions. I mean, that is about as bad as it gets. That is not ideal. No. Okay.
Number 3.
Number 3, I did predict that Aaron Rodgers would throw for 4,000 yards. 4,000 yards last year.
Didn't.
This is a victory, as he was 100 yards shy of 4,000 yards. Well, I said he was going to throw for 4,000 yards and 25 touchdowns. That is pretty
right.
Pretty
he threw for, I believe, it was 28 touchdowns, so that was plus. But the 4,000 did not happen. We've only had one 4,000-yard passer in history. Joe Namath. Okay, that works for me. Whatever works. Okay.
Number 2,
I predicted, people are not going to like this one, that Brees Hall was nowhere near in the top tier of running backs. And I said he would not rush for 1,000 yards. And, well, that was true. He ended up in the bottom third in the NFL in rush. I think he was like 23rd, 24th. He did not come anywhere near 1,000 yards. And unfortunately, I also predicted the Jets should use him more, like Hackett described halfway through the year before, that perhaps he can catch the ball. So they should use him more in that fashion. So it's not blaming Brees as much as I'm calling it. We talked about it earlier. I don't have to repeat myself. As it is coaching and their philosophy that we have, an old decrepit gunslinger. Let's not run the ball. But it was a prediction nonetheless that came true.
That one, it seems like you take a little too much pride in. I'm going to be honest on that one. That one, you're part of the, the leader of the I hate Brees Hall and kick him in the nuts ball club. But
I do not. I like him. He's got to be used appropriately, but he's not who you said he was.
All right, Dennis Green, if that's how you feel about it. All right.
Not who you said he was.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's not who we thought they were. We let him off the hook. And let's go to this.
Number 1.
Number 1, at this time last year, I predicted a player to watch to make a significant impact on the Jets was Jamien Sherwood. That is my number 1 insight pick from last year. So there's a 5, a few hits, a few misses. So no, I'm not always right. However, there are a few times that I did nail it.
Hey, so real quick, right? So you have this prediction on Jamien Sherwood, which is number 1 on your list, and he has a career year, gets paid. He's a top 5 highest paid linebacker in football. That's a pretty good prediction. That's about as good as it gets. I said as horrific as it gets earlier. That's about as good as it gets. Were you the one to push C.J. Mosley down the stairs? Because without that, that wouldn't have happened for Sherwood. To be honest, that's a crazy NFL. What happens to Jamie? Does he just get lost in the ethos and never get his chance? Does he stay on the Jets and he's a backup forever? Like, does he go to like the equivalent of the Saskatchewan Rough Riders and then we never hear from him again? Like, what a pivotal moment in his career. Someone shoving C.J. Mosley down the stairs and him getting hurt. Oh, no. Hey, Jamien Sherwood. Because that prediction, that's why at the time when you were talking all this Jamien Sherwood stuff, I'm like, where's he going to go? You got Quincy? You got C.J. Mosley. There's just not a spot available. And it seems like you made a spot available.
Listen, I'm not saying than I Tanya Harding, C.J. Mosley. By the way, if you don't know, give that a Google.
Yeah, that's worth a goog. Yeah.
I'm not saying I gave her the old baton to the knee, but stuff happens.
Okay, there you go. Wow, there you go. Anything for the prediction? Real quick, do we have a status update on Alan Lazard's injury? I did see him after the Jets-Giants joint practice. Again, we were in a VIP area, sort of away from the fans, and he had no sling on, no nothing, and he was just hanging out. I said hello to him. We didn't have any long conversation or anything like that. But Aaron Glenn said earlier in the week that it's about a 2-week injury, and his status is sort of up in the air for the season opener. But with all the weeks that are there, it seems like if it is truly 2 weeks, he should be ready for week 1, I would imagine. So that is the status update there for you, BB Jets 22. We have 400 people in the room right now. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We're about to open up the phone lines here on the show. I want to give another shout out to this. We talked about this earlier. There is a Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project 50/50 raffle. Folks, for those who don't know, my father spent 20 years in the United States Navy. Military is all throughout my life. I've got that military blood in my veins. I always will. My brother in the Marines, uncles in the Army, and everyone, my grandfather, and so many other people, all in every level of armed forces here. So this is a very important cause. And so please hear this shout out. We're doing a 50/50 raffle. Again, it's the Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project 50/50 raffle. You guys have until right now on August 16th, all the way through midnight on October 4th, transitioning to October 5th, that night, to submit money for this. Raffle tickets are $1 a piece, just a single dollar, which means what I'm about to explain, all these other details about it. If you just submit $1, you're eligible for the prizes that are included here. But I would suggest that this is all for charity, and you'll hear that in just a moment. So please be very giving if you can. $1, everyone can give $1. Every bit of money helps because this goes to the Wounded Warrior Project. And here's how it's going to work. A winner will be drawn at our Jets Cowboys tailgate. That is Sunday, October 5th. That'll be drawn in the parking lot as we're partying and doing everything else. So once the money's all tied up, so right, it's 1 a.m. on October 5th. And we pick a winner, 50% of the money goes to that person who won, whoever won the contest. And if you just submit $1, you have a chance to win 50% of the prize money that comes in. And the other 50% of the money goes to the Wounded Warrior Project. So that's how it will split. If you win and you want to donate the other 50% to the Wounded Warrior Project, amazing. Some people I heard would do that. You don't have to do that. That's up to you. No pressure on how that works. And I also love this extra layer to this puzzle, and it is this. The person who donates the most money to this contest. Sometimes when you donate the most money, you don't win a raffles. If you pay attention to any of our raffles since December, that happens all the time. But in this particular case, my pop wanted to give a tip of the cap to the person that does donate the most for this amazing cause, and you will receive a surprise gift package. And folks, you're going to love and be wowed by what you're going to receive here for this surprise gift package for a top donator. And on a week-to-week basis, my pop will give a top 5 update. On our scrolling ticker, this is our normal raffle giveaway. The only way you can get involved in this Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project is by sending money through Venmo or PayPal. Anything that gets sent through this show is our normal raffles that we're doing on the channel. I want to make that very clear. You can Venmo my father at Paul-Esden, Paul-Esden. That's his Venmo. Or on PayPal, he is at HopOnPop22. HOPONPOP, the digits 22. And if you see on your screen right now, the top right logo is the silhouette of my pop there with the hair, the beard, the shades. That is his logo on both Venmo or PayPal, so you know you're sending it to the right place. So again, it's a translucent little image there with his beard, glasses, and hair. So that is his logo on Venmo and PayPal. So send that along. Again, raffle tickets are $1 a piece. So think about it. You send $100, you get 100 raffle tickets. And again, the top donator will receive a surprise gift package. So very important cause. Wanted to give another shout out as we have 400 people in the room. And again, we'll be highlighting that every time my pop is on the show, which is normally at least once a week and sometimes a little bit more.
Yeah, and just because I did a quick update, we've already raised, there's $105 already in the tin for the raffle. So thank everybody. And so this charity, just real quick, this is right. I served 20 years in the Navy. This is for the real warriors that went out on the front lines I don't put myself in that group. And, went out there, put themselves, did not come back the way they went out. And we all owe it to them to take care of them for their sacrifice for our country.
Well said. And I would just add this in. If you send in money on Venmo or PayPal, and apparently not 105 people, but $105 has been submitted so far, which is super amazing. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. If you do send in money on PayPal or Venmo, please identify who you are. If you want to stay as, like, I'll use Indie Jets just because I see him on the screen. If you just want to be Indie Jets, you don't want to give your full name, that's fine. We'll know who that is. But make sure it's clear. So either first and last name or how you're known on the show. If you have a nickname on the show, that would be another fine way. And please do that so we can, be able to reach out to you if you end up winning. Hopefully you're at the tailgate and you just receive it in that way. But if you're not at the tailgate, obviously my father's not going to be carrying a Howie Mandel briefcase of cash and say, you've won. That we will wire you the money once that winner is determined. So again, thank everybody so much. And Old Yank saying thank you for your service, Pop, and appreciate that and everything you guys bring to the table. But it's a friggin' game day, baby. New York Jets, New York Giants again to kick off 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. I want to keep repeating that because I think a lot of people I saw on Twitter saying, ooh, 8 o'clock. If you tune in at 8 o'clock, you might have missed a significant chunk of this contest. So again, 7 o'clock tonight, NFL Network. That is it. And before we get to the phone lines, Pop, we got a couple of things here. Old Yank sent it in as a super chat as well because he wanted you to see this. So give a quick super chat shout out here.
Wow.
Old Yank sending this in saying thank you for your service, Pop.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. And real quick, just as I'm adding this to the total, Pop, is there anything that you want to tell or talk about or reveal to the audience about some of your action? Because, boy, the USS Tennessee, the USS Georgia, the USS Baltimore, there was a lot of trips that you made, and not quite cruise trips. I don't think that's how they were identified, but you had several of those during your 20 years.
Yeah, I would tell you that most of the things I can't say. But
or you'd have to kill us. Yeah, I saw that in Beverly Hills Ninja. Yeah,
but I would share that there is an interesting. If you're interested for an insight and a perspective, there is a blog out there. It's called. Hold on one second. It's called 5 Minutes.
Okay.
5 Minutes, and it was written by Glenn Truitt. 5 Minutes. And so if you want to read something that kind of lays, just go read it. 5 Minutes by Glenn Truitt. And but I could probably tell some stories in person. I'm not going to do it on the interweb, the fancy interweb.
Yeah.
I will not tell the stories of patrolling in a submarine in Russian waters. So I will not tell that story.
Because you'd have to kill us. So totally understand. Thank you very much and appreciate it. All right, let's keep sending this through. We got our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby, with a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. For more gifted on this channel, we play a video package, and Austrian has taken a liking to a certain one.
Kevin James. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
There you go from our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby. We've got 400 people in the room, and we have 100 of those people currently watching on YouTube. Folks, we only have 60 likes. Take the like button to Pound Town, baby, as my
Come on, now.
Come on, man. The numbers just don't the numbers are just not adding up here. So people, like the video, hit subscribe. That is the free way to contribute here on the program. So please make sure that you do that. So thank you so much, Old Yank, for that super chat. And Austrian, here are the 5 new members. We have Phenom, he's back. We have Sam Massaro. We have Shady ILC, T_time 11, and Kayuron. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby. Appreciate you very much. Our number one Austrian Jet fan, you have 97 raffle tickets for our giveaway this month on the Boy Green channel, which we really appreciate. So thank you so much for all your support as always. And two things here, Pop. First off, this is the prize pack that everyone's competing for this month. It is a New York Jets Super Bowl game coin collection. It is flashed in 24 karat gold. It is a limited edition coin. You have that New York Jets logo athletic prime hoodie t-shirt and a random vintage Jets player t-shirt. A blast from the past will also be included. And Badshaw donated the Kickoff Kitchen cookbook from Chef Tim Lopez, the Super Bowl chef who joined us. Badshaw bought that book, and he's going to be also mailing that out to the winner. That was a super cool gesture by Badshaw. Again, this community is pretty gosh darn cool. So every time you guys spend $3 on the channel, you have a chance to win all of these prizes, plus the Kickoff Kitchen cookbook from our professional chef who joined us on the show last week. So very cool, and thank you to our number one Austrian Jet fan. A couple other super chats and things of that nature to catch up on here, Pop. And then we'll get to the phone lines here on the show. Mother effing Chew Baby with a $2 super chat. Hey now.
Wow.
He just downloaded Venmo. It's something he didn't have before, and he entered the contest. So, folks, that is super easy. I know there's a lot of people, when I brought that up for the ticket giveaways and stuff, I would say, oh, Venmo or PayPal. And a few people went, I don't have those things. Obviously, look at here with MFC. He's had, or he didn't have Venmo, and he downloaded it, bing, boom, bam, and he entered and was able to do it pretty quickly and pretty easily. So, MFC, thank you so much for contributing to this amazing cause. And you got yourself another raffle ticket here. You now have 13 raffle tickets here on the program. Hell off there, you bastard. Damn it. Anywho, for the audio-only listeners, you have no idea what just happened there, but I had a gosh darn fly I had to smack around here on my gosh darn mic. I'm not trying to get a fly in the throat. That doesn't sound lovely. But thank you, MFC, for that. We have another super chat coming in, Pop, from one of your favorite MMA fighters of all time. Big Country!
Wow.
Saying thank you for your service, Pop, sending in a $9.99 super chat. Man, you've been getting a lot of love, Pop. A lot of love.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. And we are up to just shy of $200 already donated for the Wounded Warriors.
Oh, my goodness. You guys are amazing. You guys didn't have to do this. I love that you guys are doing it. It means the world. So thank you guys so much for an absolutely, roaring start to this giveaway or this 50-50 raffle, excuse me. Whoa, mama. This 50-50 raffle giveaway here. And it will be going on again up until, we'll throw this back up on the screen, through midnight on October 4th to submit the money. So keep that in mind. So it's rocking and rolling right now. This is the way to do so. Again, if you do want to be a part of this particular 50-50 raffle, super chats, memberships, gifting, that is not a part of this. It's Venmo or PayPal only. So I just want to make that clear. And I think that keeps it separate for everybody. I like that my Pop's handling everything. He's taking it in. He's noting everybody that's gifting. And so it's completely separate. So it works out for everybody. So I just wanted to make sure that is very clear here on the program. Big Country, thank you so much for that coming in as well. You got yourself 3 raffle tickets for a contest. You're $2 away from another raffle ticket. At some point, just do that before the end of August. Our number one Austrian Jet fan with a Pop Appreciation super chat.
Wow.
That's $2 in euro, which translates to $3 American, baby. That's another raffle ticket for our guy, Austrian, who is now at 98 raffle tickets so far this month. What an incredible run that Austrian's been on, especially the other day. He had a 50-pack, and I almost fell out of my seat for Pete's sake. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you, our number one Austrian Jet fan, for the Pop Appreciation super chat. And it's cool. I really get to enjoy doing these shows with my Pop. It's one of a kind. It means a lot, and it's pretty special. Okay, Big Country 87 with another super chat coming in.
Wow.
Which also gives him another raffle ticket. He said, I just sent 50 to your Venmo, Paul. Can you confirm?
I can confirm it.
Okay,
Receive.
there you go. Okay, we're both Paul, so I just wanted to double check my phone to see that it didn't actually get sent to a different place. So there you go. So that is confirmed, Big Country. Thank you very much. And now you have 4 raffle tickets for our contest. So thank you kindly, and thank you so much for your donations, Big Country 87, which means you have 50 raffle tickets, if you think about it that way, for the giveaway that'll be coming up as well. And one more super chat here, Pop. Then we'll get to the phone lines here. What the?
Wow.
Mother effing Chew with a $2 super chat coming in. He said, "Did Badshaw have that book in the bathroom?"
That's
I don't.
proper kind of cooking.
That would be, and I don't know if that increases or decreases the value. I have an implied thing of what it be. This is the book, by the way. This is Kickoff Kitchen, 64 game day recipes. It has an appetizer and entree for every team in the National Football League, obviously including the Jets. And a cool thing that Tim Lopez sort of talked about on the show is, as you play different opponents, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers week 1 or the Buffalo Bills week 2, you can look into the menu and try some of the foods from the teams that you're playing against and get a sense of the culture of the other team, which is pretty cool. So this is a wonderful cookbook. It's got a great hardcover, great pictures in here, and even for average Joes like us, we can cook it up a storm. MFC is a professional chef from everything I've seen on the Discord. He cooks it up like nobody's business, so he probably doesn't need any help. But hey, this Kickoff Kitchen book is out there, so I'm unaware if Badshaw can reveal those details himself if he's making any of those kinds of contributions.
Just be careful. The pages, if the pages are stuck together, we have no idea why.
Oh boy, oh boy. All right, without further ado, baby, let's do this. You guys know what's coming up. I see B-Shep is talking about it. He's already singing the song. He knows what is about to hit. We have 400 plus people in the bleeping room. You guys know what it is. It is Boy Green Daily on a game day. Another super chat coming through.
Wow.
Ray Noble saying, "Let's go, baby. It's game day. We should all be fired up." And again, we should be fired up for any reason and for obvious reasons. But the other reason is, as we have this dress rehearsal before the season, this is the last time we're going to see the starters for the New York Jets before we get to week 1, people. That is what is happening here. So, Ray Noble, by the way, you are $1 away from a raffle ticket. Again, all you have to do is submit that at some point before the end of August. You do not have to send that in now, but appreciate you. Without further ado, let's do this, baby. The phone line's open next.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Let's go.
Let's bleep and go, everybody. The phone lines are now open. That is the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygrain25, baby. If you want to call in on a game day episode, now is the time to do so. And I want to give one more plug to our post-game show coming up later this evening. It will start, as soon as the final whistle. So regardless of whatever the time is, it says 11:30, 10:30, it doesn't matter. We will start it as soon as the game's over. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And the phone lines are open immediately on that show. So if you have immediate thoughts to share, you guys can do so and take full advantage for our brand new version of our post-game show. I'm really excited about how we're going to be doing it. And my co-host will be Hop on Pop tonight for that Jets-Giants post-game show, which will be great. And, of course, all of you guys will be able to call into the program as well. So we won't always get a chance to do these full-on days here, so why not take full advantage, baby, on a game day episode? All right, let's dive into the phone lines. Let's get the Scuba Steve gear, and we've got Hep joining us. What's up, Hep?
It's game day. Let's go.
Is that a new haircut, Hep?
Yeah, I got a haircut.
Ooh, okay, all right, fresh haircut.
Every once in a while, they got to, you got to beat the rug, and every once in a while,
That's right. What's up, man?
So anyway, I was going to say that for the game, Dallas game, if you wear your Dallas colors, Pop, we got your back. We'll give you some crap, but we got your back. So
there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, as far as the game calling on the Pittsburgh Steelers thing, what I like about when I watch those kind of shows is if you have the game clock in the corner, like the game time clock, of the clock, so then people can zero in on that. And what I do is I shut down the volume on the TV,
Mm-hmm.
and I kick up I'll pick up your volume on your thing and listen to you and knock down those guys. And then what you do is also when you see the little ticker when you watch, you see like who has the ball and where it is. Like there's a little thing
Oh,
at
the
the bottom
game
of the
track.
screen.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like the game. Yes.
Yeah,
Who has the
Jets have
ball?
possession and they're on the 35 of down or whatever it could be,
Okay. Okay.
that kind of thing. So those things I find enhance the experience as far as you're calling the game.
Yeah,
And I
let
think
me
those,
ask you real quick, Hep, just because again we're going to be doing that week 1 Jets Steelers and everything, and I want and same sort of thing we're doing with the post game show. We're improving the quality. Anything else that you look for on these sort of again live watch party play by play things that happen? Is there anything else that sort of revs your engine that you would like to see?
well, I do like the call-ins. Like when a random fan calls in, they go like, "Oh my God, did you see that?"
Yeah, yeah.
The
So we'll have
drama
the
stuff.
phone lines open for sure. That's another goodie. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. And that's it.
Okay.
I know I'm sure a lot of people want to hop on. I just want to drop my 2 cents in and then hop back out.
All right, there you go. Hep, appreciate it. And look at that. The lettuce contained. You can attempt to contain the hep, but you will likely fail in those attempts because you can't contain the hepster. Hep brings another animal. But I appreciate that. And anyone else who has suggestions or anything for the watch party. So week 1, for those who don't know, Jet-Steelers game, as the game is going on. So like I will probably hop on at like 12:55 or something maybe. But as the game is on and happening, we will be live here. And we'll be giving essentially play-by-play of the game and reacting live to the Jet-Steelers happenings on the show. So we're looking to improve it. We did it last year for Week 18, and I want to make it an even better viewing experience for all you guys. So if you have any suggestions or anything that you'd like to see from that, let me know. We won't do it for every game because we'll, like, for instance, Jets-Cowboys, I'm going to be at that game, but we'll try to do what we can from that perspective. A couple other things popping in here, Pop. Ray Noble sent a super sticker, which, again, I'm still unclear exactly what that is, but... But what I am sure of is Ray Noble's officially in our contest, baby. He's got a raffle ticket. So thank you, Ray Noble. And you're $2 away from another raffle ticket. They are $3 a pop, baby, here on the program. So appreciate you. Our number 1 Austrian Jet fan, baby, gifting another Boy Green Coffee Club membership. And that membership for our number 1 Austrian Jet fan went to Alon. There you go. Alon gets it. I don't know if that's where Austrian Jet fan intended to punt that football, but nonetheless, there you go. That is now 99 raffle tickets for our number 1 Austrian Jet fan. And then Austrian now with a HEP appreciation super chat, which gives him another raffle ticket. Wow. Good Lord have mercy. This is blowing up on today's show. Pop.
Wow.
That now takes Austrian Jet fan to a even 100, triple digits, 100 raffle tickets so far this month. Good
Hey
Lord
now.
have mercy. Wow, that is deserving of a hey now. So a HEP
Hey.
appreciation super chat coming through, and HEP will be playing that guitar at our Jets Cowboys tailgate, baby. And Pop, that's one more thing in the middle of all these phone calls to get to. I've said it on a bunch of shows, but obviously I've got to say it here on the program as well, that I am happy to announce, I am happy to share, baby, we're sold out. The Jets Cowboys ticket packages are sold out. The tailgate packages are sold out. We have no mas, no more tickets for any of them. So even if people were just interested in going to the tailgate, those tickets are sold out now. We have a final number for Chef Kevin Gilbert and the food he's preparing. We have a final Jets Cowboys ticket number of 60-plus Jet fans. So I just wanted to make sure that was out in the universe. We've sold out, and that's incredibly humbling. I had no idea how many people were going to be interested, Pop, and look at that. Sold out, and hopefully we do this every year.
Yeah. So I think it's important to
Yeah.
talk to the people out there that
Yeah.
did not sign up.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about that for a moment.
That's
So
all right.
last year, right? And I'm gonna use the word we, but it's really you. So, but I'll keep using the word we.
Okay.
We use this. We had the inception, right?
All right.
I think we had about 25 people that came to last year's game.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like some weird offshoot of somebody else's business, and whatever it was.
Okay.
think about this. Everybody that does one of these trips, that goes to a Jets game every year or goes to a game every year, if you think, wrap your head around this. And for those people that complained about the price, you truly are a moron.
Oh,
You're getting an NFL game day ticket.
Yep.
You're getting to sit with a coffee club who you spend every day with.
Sure.
You have a professional chef with not hot dogs and potato chips, right? An exquisite menu. You have a meet and greet the day before. This is not your run of the mill, jump through a bunch of tables. This is the next level. So we went from against, I think it was about 25.
Yeah.
We're we've doubled that. I expect next year it'll be doubled again.
Wow.
We've got professional tailgate. We've got singing. We're going to have games. We're going to have booze. We're going to have a meet and greet. And if you don't sign up for it, you should be putting aside your money right now for next year's, right? I agree that for some people and for a lot of people, for everybody, $300 is a lot of money. Start saving now because next year's is going to, this one hasn't even happened yet, but next year's is going to be even bigger. So just think about that. Think about all the things. Look at the pictures in the Discord. Look at the videos that are going to come out that we're going to use and realize that you better start saving your money now for next year.
Yeah, and I would just say this, that, another piece that's been added to the mix, and I will give more details when more details are given. Lou B, Super Jets fan, who hooked me up so I could go to Jets training camp practice against the Giants. He is offering part of his business, which is basically it's a DJ thing in a van. I'm explaining it very poorly, but he's going to be having a DJ for our tailgate. So music and things of that nature are now going to be added to the mix, and he's volunteering that free of charge for Jet fans because he's a big Boy Green Coffee Club member and a New York Jet fan. So, man, it's been super cool. It's been amazing. So, yes, we're sold out, so I have no more tickets. I can't sell anything else, but as my pop says, get ready for next year because we plan on doing this every year moving forward. All right, let's go back to the phone calls. A lot of people waiting here on the show. Let's go to, we got 04 Jets fan who's made a return. What's up, pal?
Oh, not much. Just getting home from work. Got to listen to you guys all the way home.
That's it, baby. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on?
I want to see how this defense plays again this week.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I want to see Tufele. I want to see him play. Yeah, so far he's the one I'm most excited about that we've brought in. I don't know. I'm just excited.
I would just say right off of that, though, Jay Tufele got my game ball last week, and I thought nothing of Jay. When he was signed, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Stats, numbers, nothing stood out about him whatsoever. And look, sometimes it's just getting the right opportunity in the right place with the right scheme and the right coaches. And Jay popped. I don't want to try to overreact. It's hard not to with how dominant he looked against the Green Bay Packers last week. But yeah, let's see a Jay Tufele encore. I'm fired up. Jets-Giants. I hate the Giants. Let's Eli Manning.
There's only one team I hate more than the Patriots, and that's the Giants.
There you go, baby. So screw the Giants and let's light them up. Let's get an Eli Manning bloody face coming off the field after the Jets punch him right in the pie hole. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
So, 04 Jets fan, I've got a question for you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Why is it named the Snoopy Bowl?
I have no clue, to be honest. 04 is a quite literal year when I started my Jets fandom. So I'm a little young, but I'm sure I can learn.
Okay, so Pop, what is it? It sounds like this is like trivia, like Yeah.
I do know. I'll give it the answer. Boy Green, do you know?
I believe so.
No, I don't need the answer. I just wanted to know if you thought you knew. I will give the answer.
Oh, okay. I think I know. Yes.
So the merchandising for the stadium is MetLife. MetLife's advertisement used to have a deal with Charles Schultz, who's the Peanuts
give me just a second.
creator. Yeah. And the Peanuts creator, therefore Snoopy, therefore the Snoopy Bowl, as both teams use MetLife Stadium as their home.
Oh, there you go.
So that's why.
You gotta go potty. Oh. Sorry, the wife came out with the dog.
That's right. What's your dog's name?
Pickle.
Pickle. All right.
I love that. What kind of dog is Pickle? Give me the details on Pickle.
He's a beagle.
Okay.
I'm on the Boy Green Coffee Club show. Come here. Pickle.
Don't hide the pickle.
Yeah, let me see. Let's all right.
Come
Let's
here,
go.
boy.
All right, let's see Pickle here. Oh, this is great. Okay, here we go.
Here comes
Oh
Pickle.
my goodness!
Wow.
Look at Pickle. Whoa, Mama.
Hey now.
Pickle. Whoa. Pickle. That's a big pickle. Wow.
That is a big pickle.
Okay.
My son named him.
Okay, that's so cool. How old is Pickle?
He's a year old,
Oh,
and he is, as everybody says, just a baby.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my God, that's amazing. So look at it. It looks like Pickle and you are all fired up for the game, baby.
Yes, sir.
Well, I love that you've started calling into the show, 04 Jets fan, and I hope you continue to call in, man, because we're fired up, and you're a part of this community, brother.
Y'all have a great weekend, and I'll be listening to the post-game show.
There we go, baby. Yes, sir. As soon as the final whistle is over. All right, let's keep going down the phone lines. We got plenty of people trying to call into the show, and I totally understand. All right, let's go to the Lane Train. It's on the show. What's up, Lane Train?
Oh, hi. I'm Paul Boy Green.
Yes.
As senior, and I hope I'm Pop. Yeah, I just want to talk about the Jets game tonight.
Sure, yeah. Okay.
How do you feel about Martinez? Do you think he'll do good?
I do. He looked really good last week against the Green Bay Packers. You got the entire second half to play, and quite frankly, he's probably going to get even more than that this week because Tyrod Taylor's out for the preseason. Justin Fields maybe plays a drive or two, and then Brady Cook, I don't know if he plays at all.
I know he got injured also.
Yeah,
So
he got his
what
foot
do you
ankle
do with
stepped
the two injuries? Do you put Justin Fields in for the second half tonight, or do you see what you do with Martinez? Because you also have Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, that's true, right? There's a couple of injuries like Sauce, Lazard, Quinnen Williams, and a couple others. I probably don't play Fields in the second half, but he might get the first quarter at the most, maybe.
So what do they do with the Giants then? Because they have injuries. So now, who do you put in? You put Dexter in for the
Yeah, I think someone told me in Giants land that the Giants defensive starters played like the full first quarter. So maybe that or a little more.
Yeah. And what else do I got to talk about? Yeah, and they still got to move the ball down tonight. You know. And what? Yeah. And okay. Yeah. So thank you for taking my call.
Of course. There you go. The Lane Train. Toot.
Lane Train.
Toot. Very nice. Lane Train, thanks for joining us. We got 400 plus people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. Again, if you're watching on YouTube right now, it is free to do. I appreciate all the super chats and memberships that are coming through. That helps me do this show. But the free way that everyone, literally everyone can contribute, regardless of your financial position, is by liking the video. So make sure you guys do that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Indy Jets now joins us here on the program. What's up, Indy?
Well, BG, Pops, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. What's going on?
Hey, Pops, and I'll try to reach out to you on Discord, but I was talking with Dylan Terrament. I don't know if you're familiar with DT or not. I know BG you are.
Of course.
And I was telling him about your project with the Wounded Warriors, and he would like you to make a little guest appearance on his show and do a little promotion with this on his show also.
Well,
so I don't know if you're up for it, but he's going to try to reach out. I told him I'd try to, somehow connect you two so he can get you on his show. Just a
awesome
little guest spot. Yeah. So and on another, Pops, you're a grandfather, so certain things just when your grandkids do things that you just sit back and smile. And my grandson's 7; he's going into second grade, and one of the things that he's really excited for Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn, for some reason, has just clicked with this kid. I don't know why. This 7-year-old will sit on the computer and research Aaron Glenn and all the things that he did as a player, and now he's a coach. And one of the things he asked me, and I couldn't say no. And as a grandfather, sometimes you just can't say no. But they have their little, sometimes they show and tell and things like that they get to take things to school. And he asked me if he could take my signed Aaron Glenn little helmet to school. And I couldn't say no. So we took it out of the case and I'm like, here, kid, for that kind of, for something like that, we just, you just have, as a grandparent, you just go, you make my heart, grow, even though we know it's painful to bring another Jets fan into this world.
Indy, I just want to say that's a really beautiful story, and I'm glad you did that. You're a better man than me. Hell no, you're not taking my autographed Jets memorabilia to school. What the hell are you thinking, kid? No, hell no. But,
you know what, though? And Pops could probably attest to this. The smile on that kid's face was worth more than that helmet.
Okay, there you go.
That's right. And right now, you're at the incipient stage of being a parent.
Incipient. All right,
that's go look up that word.
I've never heard of.
And it's a real word. So, anyways, you're at that stage, right? And if we
in an initial stage beginning to happen or develop. Oh, incipient.
Yeah, I'm surprised you could actually get that up on spell check. Anyways, so when you are a grandparent, you have matured, you have evolved.
Interesting.
And the things you think are important today, you will discover are nowhere near as important as you thought they were.
Absolutely.
Huh. All right, I'll consider that while I'm saying, hell no, they're not taking my gosh darn autograph memorabilia. What are you talking about? But that's a cool story, Andy. I love it.
Yeah, but on to the Jets game. Pop, you're right. I think if we go out and score on the first drive, pull everybody and just say, hey, we did what we needed to, and maybe you just play till you score. I don't know. Or the first quarter, whatever. But if we go 3 and out, but if we score on that first drive, you just pull everybody, and let the 2s and 3s continue to battle it out for, what is there, 90 players on the team right now? BG, I don't remember.
91 technically because of Leonda Vegan. He's their international pathway player. They get a roster exemption.
Yeah.
So 91.
Yeah. So, we've got 2 weeks until they've got to cut it down to the 53. So, you've got 40 plus players fighting for, maybe 6 or 7 spots.
Plus the 16 practice squad, or technically 17, because unless Leander gets picked up by any other team, they would get that roster exemption on the practice squad. So, they're all battling for those spots too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I expect at some point in the NFL will just cut it down to, 2 preseason games. And this joint practices that they're really bringing on, it has become the preseason. And nobody wants to watch, next week when nobody's going to want to watch that game. It's going to be atrocious.
Oh yeah.
It'll be terrible.
Brady Cook and this guy.
What it really is the last chance for those, the Jets are going to jettison, if I can say that. The Jets are going to jettison,
oh, very nice.
30 plus people the next day or the 2 days later after that game. And I don't know if it's a Thursday night, whatever it is. It's the Tuesday. It's like 10 days from now. And so that's what it's interesting for. That's when the scouts are watching the film. That's when you figure out when those 1,200 people get released, is there anybody you want to go get? Because we're determining those 5 or 7 last roster spots. But of those 5 or 7, 2 or 3 of them, you're like, we've got Johnny here. And no, I'm not picking on Johnny Boy. We got Johnny here. But Paul over there, if he got free, Johnny's going to be beating feet. And so that's the value of that last game. It's no value for the Jets as an entity other than what might become available.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys will be bagging groceries at the next week anyway. So, So anyway, that's all I had. Good luck tonight on the Jets. We're glad football's here. Week 5 is coming faster than we could imagine. And so that's going to be a great time. And I agree. Pops, you said, people were complaining about the price. That's well reasonable for the things that BG has put together And next year, you're right. We're at 60. I think 60 people this year.
Yeah, I think the official number is like 64 is what
64. You started out with 25, and we're at 64. Just in a few years, BG, you're going to end up just getting half the stadium.
That's right.
Be unbelievable.
Yeah, we're gonna have a 1,000-person meetup, and
there you go.
Yeah, Chef Kev won't know what to do when we have a meetup on a Saturday night.
Oh God, that'll be something when his restaurant is flooded, with Jet fans. That's going to be so cool. I can't wait.
But appreciate you guys. Good to see you guys. We'll talk. We'll talk later. Thanks.
Okay.
There he is, Indy Jets. And yes, we'll try to connect the dots. Apparently, Pop, you're going to be making a media tour with this, which in all seriousness, I think that's only going to help promote this wonderful thing, which obviously this card-carrying member, you could carry this with you to any show that you go to. And that's the cool thing is it doesn't have to be Super Chats or anything on my show. You could do this on DT show or anyone else's show in the universe. That should be really cool.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to make sure. So sometimes, and it happens to everybody, you say something and people misinterpret what you said.
Okay.
And so what I was saying about the cost of the game and people, I want to be very, very clear. Okay. What I was saying is the value for what you're getting for the $300 is a value. You're going to get a T-shirt. You're going to get one of the best tailgates that's probably even going to be out there food-wise. You're going to get Hep playing, professional musician playing. Who I was
the game ticket as well. Jets Cowboys.
Who I was specifically calling out was the people that were complaining about the price, not the people that chose not to go, or not the people that could not financially do it, but the people that could do it but were complaining about the price. Those are the people I was calling out. Just to be very clear, I wasn't chastising anybody for the decision not to go to the game. I was calling out the people that could afford it and were complaining about the cost. It is a very reasonable cost. That was my entire point. So I just want to make sure that's very clear.
I appreciate that. And I just want to say that, folks, I hem and hawed to make sure that I say it with the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's $3. It's $2. It's $2.99. Let me not even over exaggerate. It's $2.99. I try to make it as affordable for everybody so everyone can afford it. I don't want to make some $20 membership level that maybe a few of you could afford, but like the most of you couldn't. I want to make this as affordable as possible for the game. NFL games just straight up are expensive to go to, especially when you throw in a professional chef that has to be taken care of to be able to take care of all you guys and T-shirts and all this other stuff. All of that costs a lot of money, but I wanted to try to make it as affordable as possible. I tried to speak with other people and try to get the right prices for things and how things are. Where do we sit in the stadium? Obviously, that's a factor. You sit in the nosebleeds versus sit in front row. We could go $1,500 per person, but that seems a little crazy. So it's finding the right balance. And again, I'm not perfect. I hope to learn from this. And after this, hopefully there's another brainstorming session where a lot of us can talk and you say the things you like from the tailgate, the things you hated. And I want to keep improving this. So I have a constant quenching a thirst, for perfection. And I'm sure even no matter how great this goes, I'm not going to do it. So I appreciate that. Let's throw this one up here real quick. Just win a Super Bowl before I die. Great handle. Hell, $300 per person is great price for that. I would have loved to have come there and make fun of Pop's Cowboys all day. Unfortunately, I live in Florida. I'm flying out to Vegas 6 days later, which is all right. And again, hopefully we do this every year, and that'll open up more opportunities for others. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Scotty Mayhem joins us here on the program.
Fellas, I love this show for the diversity and all that you guys do. Pops, kudos. Fantastic initiative, which I will be supporting starting today. So thank you for what you're doing, for the service you provided and for the service that is provided by the Wounded Warriors. But this message is for BG.
Okay.
It's the things that we do in life, the legacy that we leave, like Pops is doing. You brought something to the table.
Nope. Okay. Sorry, Scotty. It sounded like you had a very inspirational message to deliver me about something, but something just crapped out there with your phone. So hopefully we can get that fixed while we're waiting for that. Neil Sr., baby.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Scotty was about to make that big point. Ga-boom.
Yeah.
Off goes the internet.
Yep. Well, that can happen to the best of us, I suppose. Yeah.
And great initiative, Pops. I'm a Tunnels to Tower Foundation guy, and I'll look into this. I don't, I like to give to the service people who keep this country great and do a lot to keep us free and the best country on earth, without a doubt.
That's
Nowhere
the only.
better.
Yeah, that's the only chant that's better than JETS. USA,
I wish I
baby.
had more. I wish I had more of a choice, politically here in New York, on whether I might have to deal with. Well, I'm in Long Island, so we're a little bit separated from the rest of the world here. I have Bruce Blakeman, and we have some good American people out here. But that New York City, I don't know if I'm going to be too happy with a communist mayor there. That's going to be a little bit
Wow.
freaky.
Okay.
But off that subject, we don't like to talk politics naturally.
Sure.
When I've been very heartbroken with the departure of Aaron Rodgers, which many in the chat guys know. I know that. I know Pops was not a fan, and I don't like his blustery attitude and all the bullshit that comes along with him. But if Aaron Glenn was the coach, he seems to be, which is a no nonsense coach, which is not too indifferent to what the Pittsburgh Steelers have on their coaching staff. Glenn reminds me a lot of uh, why is his name slipping my mind here? Steeler coach. What am I nuts here?
Oh, Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. It's a lot of the same type of thing. No nonsense. Go out there. I love what I'm seeing on the coaching end. My problem is, when I see ESPN, place us as the 29th roster on the league, when I think we were like four. What were we last year? Like 6, 7, 8 with Rodgers?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that
top
doesn't
7.
mean a lot, and it's a lot, but the roster means a lot. I mean, look, you could have great coaching, and it could help you a lot, win games. But I'd certainly be a lot more optimistic this year if we had Aaron Glenn and the same staff we have now and the same roster with maybe Rodgers and Devontae Adams as the second receiver or whatever. But, look, I hope I'm wrong. I am just not, I would love, I have been in every opener for probably, I can't remember if I ever missed an opener. And I'm not going this year. I gave up my tickets. I got it. I'm not going to get sucked in again. It's like I feel like a beaten woman that is dated one abusive guy after another for 56 years. It gets on you after a while. It's tough. It's really hard to be me. Everybody in the chat, everybody that's a listener, nobody's been through more pain than me. 56 years is a long, long time. And when I say I've been a fan for 56 years, I was at the championship game in '68. I was 7 years old, and I've been a Jet fan. Haven't missed a snap. Haven't missed a preseason. Haven't missed anything. So it's tough. But I'm happy for you guys doing that tailgate. I planned on going, but I'm not going to be sold in here. I have to watch from afar. That first 2 games, it's going to be tough for me because we have to win one of those first 2 games. If we don't beat Pittsburgh, we don't at least beat Buffalo and go 1-1 into the third game. 0-2 is going to be a tough hole to climb out of. And at that point, all the negative Nellies and all the media is going to be shitting all over us because that's what they love to do. And it's going to be a tough season. I just think I think we're going to be much better than what most people think. Because usually
right.
when, I'm optimistic. Don't get me wrong. I just have to take a breather. I have to take a breather from the Jets in going and spending my time. Because when I go to the stadium, I'm all in, dude. My shirt's off. I'm on every tail. I have 8 tailgates I could go to, and I do I get too into it. I put my heart into it. And now that I'm 64, I don't want to get myself all worked up. And then, I make that disappointing trip to the car with my boys who cursed me out for making them Jet fans and all the other shit I got to deal with. And then it's the hour-and-a-half ride home. And it's, I don't want to do that right away. I'm
I
hoping,
understand.
you know what I
Okay.
mean, guys? It's tough.
It is tough. It is tough, Neil, and I appreciate the call. And for me, I don't know. Even it's easy for me to say, I guess, at 32, that when I'm 64, I'm still going to be every day just saying, nope, this is our year. We're going to do this thing, and we're going to figure it out. So, but I understand. I understand.
Yeah, I think it's important to say we appreciate Neil's call, but we'd like to say that any comments or thoughts provided by callers do not reflect Boyd Green or Hop on Pop Enterprises. So just to be very clear, things said in this radio or this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of this station.
That is 100% true.
Anyways.
Our next caller, I think Scotty fixed his internet thing there. Scotty.
My kid called me, so I'm sorry. I got bounced off. I don't know exactly how that works. But anyway, what I was saying is, BG, look, you brought a story to the BG Coffee Club that most of us didn't know about. I'm a fan 55 years like Neil, a little different than Neil. You can't help who you love. I will be a Jet fan till the day I die. But you brought a story that needs to come through you. It shouldn't be attributed to anybody but you. This is kind of like the Adam Schefter, Josina Anderson situation. When they talk about this story, it should be initiated by you. So here's what I'm throwing out to you.
Yeah.
I worked on a letter with Foxy. We sent it to you. I think
Yes.
you feel it's an appropriate letter. I don't think it should go through anybody but the owner to start. You can literally create a tidal wave of support for what you did. Everybody should be interviewing you about this story, nobody else. I take no credit for it. This is all through your initiative. So what I'd like to throw out to you is I just sent the letter to Jared. He can share on Discord the letter. I know you've already read it, and I know you think it's really appropriate. The owner has inherited, just like the heavyweight lineage in a heavyweight championship, there's a lineage where you can literally track the heavyweight champion. This owner has an obligation to this fan base to, once knowing about the story, I'm not even sure he knows about the story, to do something about it. But if he doesn't, there's many other letters, as Hep has pointed out, that can be written. So my suggestion is today, incentivizing that you get the credit. I will provide $100 to you for you and Pop if you get the story out today. Going down, if for whatever reason you don't, because I am listening to what you said. This should not be a posthumous story. This should be a story that is done while Matt Snell is alive. So I want to make sure that that happens, and I don't want to wait another week. If you don't think our message is right, by all means, write your own. But I think the message I wrote was based on what you shared. It came from your mouth. Everything that I wrote in there was based on the information you provided. And let the fans, all the BG Coffee members, read it. They're all going to support you. So I just want to promote your legacy. I want to grow your show. I want to be part of your nation. And it's because of what you did that Matt Snell should be honored while he's alive. And that's really all I have to say today, BG. And I'll send that donation to you, and you can split it up with Pop if you get the message out today.
I will. And Scotty, thank you for the call. And thank you for the kind words. Again, no one loves me more than me. I've got a TO book back here, and I enjoy me some me. But in all seriousness, I take absolutely zero credit for this story whatsoever. The guy that is featured right here at a very prominent place, Bob Lederer, is the person that interviewed Matt Snow and had those audio tapes. He's the one that wrote the book. Did I read the book? Yes. Did me and Bob talk privately and say, hey, I got some Matt Snell tapes? And I'm like, wait, what? And he says they've never been heard before. I'm like, can we get those on the show? And the only credit I'll take is I edited stuff for him. He sent me Matt Snell tapes, and I was spending time at the radio station, hunkered in the, in the downstairs laboratory of like messing with audio so it would be presentable for you guys. So yeah, sure, I'll take audio editing class 101 credit, I suppose. But it's Bob Lederer's tapes. It's his book that he wrote. But I would just tell you, my message is genuine from me, and it is like, hey man, like we need, and I'm not the only one that's ever said this. Other people written stories about it, but it hasn't gone anywhere. We need to right a wrong. Matt Snell is a Super Bowl hero for the New York Jets. There is a beef between him and the organization, and I understand the beef from those tapes, from what I've heard, and I want to repair and mend that relationship. And I hate seeing posthumous celebrations and things of that nature when it could have been done while the person was still alive. I don't mind honoring people. I'm not like, geez, why are we honoring this legend? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying right now he's alive. He's 83. I believe in 2 days he turns 84. He is closer to the end than the beginning. I don't know how much longer he's going to be on this planet. I just want us to honor and fix that relationship right now if we can. So sure, I'll take whatever credit that is, very minimal, 1% credit for just saying, hey, can we do something about this and try to rally some people around it? But I will thank you, Scotty, for the donation to everything we got going on here. That's amazing. All of that will go to my pop for the Wounded Warrior Project. I don't need to take a penny of that, but I appreciate it. And no, yeah, let's. I will 100% send that story out and the letter you guys put together. I think it's beautiful, and we'll try to rally troops to try to see if we can, get this in front of the right people. So we will do that. All right, Pop. Let's finish off here with a couple more callers here, and it is Snowball in a beautiful locale. I don't think
Hey
that
now.
it's there we go. What's up, Snowball?
We're in the great outdoors. So,
Beautiful.
listen, I know that you don't want to take credit for the Snell issue, but there's something that you can take credit for, and I don't know if you're aware of it, but could you take credit for the birth of another great tailgate person? All credit given to like Gotham City and Tailgate Joe and stuff, but the birth of Chef Kev, like maybe you could take credit for that. This sounds like something that could bloom into something really big for him in the coming future. So, the birth of the Chef Kev tailgate sounds like something that you could take credit for.
Well, I would just say this: if I'm the one that is shining this light, the first, appearance I will give when I'm accepting my award is why the hell did someone else not shine a light on this guy before now? Because Chef Kev is he's a professional chef. He's been a chef for a very long time, so someone should have before. So if that's righting a wrong of putting that light on, that's pretty cool. And Chef, we've talked about this already. We haven't even done the first one yet, but he said this is something he wants to do as a blood brother with me for the foreseeable future. And I said, hey, man, I'm with you together forever. So let's go. And I try to take care of my people and vice versa. So, yeah, this is a birth of something really cool. I think we got the right guy. The food looks amazing. And then just the human being, the family, man. I can't wait to meet his wife and his son and make them, a part of that group. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is a beautiful person, and he needs to be rewarded. Now, Pop, I just wanted to commend you on your efforts with the Wounded Warrior Project. My father being a Korean War vet, every opportunity that I get to donate to the people who have given for this country is I'm going to take it. So thank you so much for what you're doing. That is an amazing effort, and I appreciate what you're doing. The other thing is before I go is. Aaron Glenn in his presser said the plan is the plan, right? So the plan is the plan. So if you take a hint from what he did game one in the preseason, I would assume that he's going to stick with the plan. So starters are out for the first, I would say, quarter tonight. And I wouldn't put it past him to put starters in limited time for that third game.
Ooh,
because
wow.
football players are football players. If you take from his lineage, the Parcell years, football players play football. So if you want to make the team, you got to shine in every game. And I don't see the gap between the last preseason game and the start of the season as an opportunity for the lower guys to play the whole game. You really want to keep your stars in shape as well. I may go against the grain in this, but I think he's an old school guy, and I think he might start the players, the starters that third game also, maybe for just the series. But you got to stay in football shape. So keep the rust off and keep them playing. So I don't know about your thoughts about that.
And Snowball, real quick, make sure you give love. You had the great James Woody on Jets Worldwide yesterday, and wow, you guys covered a lot of interesting topics last night.
Yeah, we had a lot going on last night. We had a lot of interesting questions that came up, and we had a great conversation with Woody. So yeah, I told him that I would see him at the Chef Kev event the night
Awesome.
before. Unfortunately, I can't make it to the game. It's my wedding anniversary, so I'd like to stay married. But yeah,
Priority. Yes, of course.
right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's unless she wants to go, but I don't think she wanted to go, and it's sold out anyway. So
Well, I guess
good
that's
on
true.
good on you for selling out the event. So I just wanted to say what I had to say, and that's it. I'm done. Unless you want to talk about something else, but other than that, there. Well, actually, you know what? On Jets Worldwide, if I could promote,
Yeah, please. That's what I was going to ask you to do. So
yeah.
yes.
So Jets Worldwide, we're on at 7:30 every Friday night. Me and Johnny Boy, we host up a show. We have guests on every week. We've had you on the show. We've had Woody on the show. We've had other Jets content creators on the show. We've had former players on the show as well. So, if you want to check that out. But we do have something that we did a couple of weeks ago called Alter Ego. And that's where our guests take on the persona of players on the team and explain themselves to the audience, and we bring up different scenarios. So we do have that in the works. And if you and Woody would like to come on and portray players on the team,
Oh, yeah.
we would love to have you on. And if Pop wants to hop in, we can have him on too. So
That
just
sounds
wanted to take
fun.
that opportunity to promote. So thanks so much for giving me the time, and I hope you have a great weekend, and everyone enjoy the game. I'll be at T Squared tonight with the Asman crew. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Perfect. Snowball. Thank you so much. And yes, that's awesome. The Asmaniac, they're hosting a T Squared social. They're hosting a big event. If you guys want to go to that for a big watch party, Jake's doing that. I think it's like $18. You guys get like a beer and some other things involved, and they're doing a bunch of giveaways. So absolute shout out to Jake Asman. Pop, let's just wrap up here with our final commentary and things. What a historic, massive show of 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe again. We will be back on together for the post-game show, which will come as soon as the final whistle hits. We'll immediately jump on here over on the live show again, regardless of what the time says. I just put a time there because we don't know exactly when the game's going to end, so we will adjust that accordingly. And a pretty historic, cool show, Pop. And just to Snowball's last point, maybe we're making assumptions of things we don't know, right? Oh, Eagles. Oh, the Jetsstars are obviously not going to play in that game. Maybe they are. Maybe AG is cut from a different kind of jib and he's going to do something different. So we can't completely rule that out as I'm punching the microphone. Pop, any final thoughts as we put a bow on this?
Yeah, I forgot the Jets were playing the Eagles last game. Kyle McCord can just walk across the field.
There you go. See?
Hey now. But I appreciate everybody donations. We're already, like I said, $200. Snowball, thank you for your donation. We'll have a list up next Saturday of the people who have donated, and look forward to getting back on tonight for the post game and talking about the Arian Smith breakout game and Malachi Corley showing up and dropping the ball after he's crossed the end zone.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out because I see Yo Holmes in here. He was the person that bought the final ticket. We had one ticket package left. Chef Kevin Gilbert's wife is coming, and she joined the Army. And there was one ticket left, and Yo Holmes he didn't even ask if it was available. He just Venmoed me the money and said, hey, I'm in. And I'm like, well, okay, well, there was one ticket left. He said, sweet, I wanted to beat the crowd. And I'm like, well, I guess you did. So he's talking about that right now in the chat. He's going to be there, our guy Yo Holmes. So I respect the juice that required to make that sort of a bold move. So Yo Holmes, salute to you, good sir, and thank you everybody for tuning into the show, Dad. This was pretty cool, pretty special, and thank you guys so much for the wonderful response to the Wounded Warrior Project that we're doing here. And again, one last shout out. I'll throw it up here on the screen. Again, the Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project 50/50 raffle. It does not just end today. This is going all the way through midnight on October 4th. So as we're going at the party, I guess, with Chef Kevin Gilbert, we won't stay there too late. We'll be there for a little bit of time to meet and greet, and then we'll get ready for the game the next day. But midnight on October 4th, that Saturday, that will be the last you can send money all the way from now through then. It's basically a month and a half away. And all of that money, 50% goes to Wounded Warrior Project, 50% goes to the winner. And the top donator, whoever donates the most money, which my pop will give updates on a week-to-week basis, they will receive a surprise special gift package that is very deserving for your generosity with this event. So we'll be continuing to rock with this. And again, if you want to submit anything towards this. Raffle tickets are $1 a piece. So all you have to do is submit $1. Everyone can afford $1. But if you are in the financial means to donate more, then feel free to do so. You donate $50, you get 50 raffle tickets, and it goes on from there. If you just have one raffle ticket in, you have a chance to win 50% of the proceeds of the total pot. And again, that is exclusively through my father's Venmo at Paul-Esden, PayPal at HopOnPop22. That is the way to do it. And his logo is up in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Shades, beard, hair. That is the logo there for both of those, so you know you're sending it to the right place. Pop, pretty cool. All right, get some rest. We'll see you in about 12 hours.
Yes, we will. And I'm not going to put a goal out there for money for saving for the collection for the Wounded Warriors. But if we got $1 from every subscriber, that'd be a pretty good goal. I'm not going to say that out loud, but $1. If everybody could give $1. That would make a big difference.
That'd be nearly $8,000. I mean, we're still trying.
I wasn't going to say it. Come on.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, that just is. Let me get it specifically right now as we're heading out here.
Okay.
I have the updated number here. It is. Let me see. It's popping up here. It was 7,891. So we are 109 subscribers, away from 8,000. So the numbers have continued to go up, which have been a lot of fun. So there you go. So again, 109 away from 8,000. So 7,891 for those counting at home. There you go.
Yeah, and we'll be doing shows from Atlanta, New Hampshire, Vermont, Abu Dhabi, you name it. It's all going to be happening. Let's go.
Okay, there you go. And shout out to Scotty, who apparently is about to be giving $100 to the cause. So thank you, Scotty, so much for that. It means the world. All right, everybody, enjoy all the other Jets Giant coverage you're going to get from all our wonderful Jets content creators in the universe. You got the Jake Asman party happening as well. And real quick, Pop, I don't know if you're a Zelle guy. I know we do have that on the Navy Federal app. FFL98 real quick is saying, is it possible to use Zelle for you?
Not currently, but I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay, so there you go. I tried to do that a little bit with my ticket giveaways, and I was very hit and miss. Some worked, some didn't, and that led to some problems. So, Philium, we'll keep you posted on that. If we can update, I will be more than happy to update that on the graphic to make it even more acceptable for everyone in the universe. We'll keep you posted. For now, it is the PayPal and Venmo. Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you in about 12 hours for Jets Giants, baby, the Snoopy Bowl. Enjoy.